Hey, what's up everybody? Michael here, and we now know the title of the PlayStation 4 game that we should purchase that will allow us to jailbreak not only our PlayStation 4, but our PlayStation 5s up to 12.00. Now, this came by the way of Gezine, and what he stated here is that it is based off of Mast1c0re. Now, Mast1c0re is something that was developed by McCaulay, but it was part of the Flow's work. Now, I have covered Mast1c0re in great detail at this point, but we also know that this is based on a disc game. And this is the title ID, and you can see that the game is titled Wars Racer Revenge. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the video that was released. So they go to options here, and then once they go to options, they're going down to the Hall of Fame, and right there it pops the debug message. So again, great improvements to see this. Now it just needs to be chained with the jailbreak. Now the rest of the tweet here says this was the 12.00 dupe or duplicate exploit that was teased, and that they will release the code after polishing more. Now, one thing to keep in mind right off of the bat is that this is based on a disc game. So those of you that are looking at the digital store in hopes of one day may be able to use this, this will not work, and that came the way of Gezine here, where he said digital PS5s cannot attend the Battle Royale, and this was a follow-up to there will be a Battle Royale for PS5 12.00 poops. Good luck getting it. And obviously that is referring to Wars Racer Revenge. Now, what we've seen that has already happened with this is that places like eBay have already ballooned. We can see that the game just about 24 hours later is starting to run at these $411 price tags, $499, at least the ones that I'm looking at here in the United States, $364, $300, and then so forth. Now, what is interesting about this is that this is a limited run game. And this was more specifically version number 290. And the retail price was $37.50. Now, it's obviously sold out there, but one thing you'll notice is that there's two editions to this. This is the premium edition, and this right here is the standard edition. Now, why am I telling you that? Well, that's because that they stated here that there are approximately 10K copies, 1K for the limited edition, and then 8.5K for the regular edition. So good luck hunting it down. He also stated here that don't be an idiot buying the PS2 version of the game. So absolutely do not do that. Now, going back up to this being Mast1c0re, if we go back over to McCaulay's repo here, you'll find in this project that it states that this Mast1c0re project provides the necessary framework for developing payloads that can be executed on the PlayStation 4 or 5 through a PlayStation 2 game save file by escaping the PlayStation emulator. So with this game here, we would now be able to do that. Now, one thing that I do want to keep in mind here is that if you are afraid that you've already missed the train here and now you would have to spend a whole ton of money in order to get a PS5 12.00 jailbreak, I have some good news for you, because there's actually some other PlayStation 2 games that might work in the future. And it was actually an article that was published over here on Wololo, and it says list of PS2 emulated games that got a physical release on PS4 disc. Now, I believe that each of these games that's listed down in here, we might be able to jailbreak using these, mainly because with the remote Lua loader, we saw more and more titles being added, especially as the months went by. And as you can see here, this is just where they added another game on September the 7th. So here is the list of games: Art of Fighting Anthology, There is Psychonauts, and it does stay here, beware of newer versions which are not the PS2 classics. Destroy All Humans, the limited run version. Fahrenheit 15th Anniversary Edition, which is interesting because QTR703 said if you have nothing to lose, buy this one, and pray some devs add Poopsploit to it for jailbreaking the PlayStation 5 up to 12.00. I absolutely agree, and we are definitely on the same page here. And just one more thing before I leave this section. Now, the developer did state just at the time of recording this to do not buy Fahrenheit unless you are trying to port the exploit yourself. So it does look like he probably would not be interested in porting some of these PS2 games. Now, the next one here is Fatal Fury. We have got Jak and Daxter, Jak 2, again, another limited run game. And we got Jak 3, The King of Fighters, Metal Slug, Red Faction, Samurai Showdown, and there is the Star Wars Bounty Hunter, and there is the Star Wars Racer Revenge game. So it looks to me like there will be multiple opportunities for you to be able to run this on a PlayStation 5. Now, what is going to be interesting here is going to be figuring out which one of these is the cheapest. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat that Star Wars Racer Revenge, coming in over here at $37.50, was the cheapest game that I believe the developers found, and that is the reason that they went with it. Now, I will say you should be able to find another title over here that is at least less than this $500 asking price that you're seeing right here on eBay, but only time will tell. Now, I made another post on X saying that these were all bought up, and here is where I was checking it over here on Amazon, and it was completely out of stock. In the comments, we see that Play Asia is sold out. And then a fun little comment in here of this is what happened with the Lua games in 2025. Now, the developer themselves stated that, yeah, most people will not like the idea of requiring a specific game, but that is what we have for now. And they also stated here, do not expect BDJB coming soon. And they said April something is busted and that maybe a WebKit coming out will make more sense. And now one thing we know from Gezine is that obviously they implemented the Lua solution that we had and they weren't happy with that and they kept looking and they found Y2JB. I expect this will be the same exact thing. I think a lot of people is going to rush out and buy these discs and that maybe a couple months later we're going to have another new entry point. But that is the game that we are playing. Anyways, thank you so very much for watching, and as this develops, I'll absolutely be recording a video on the channel here. Take care and Happy New Year, and I will see you on the next one. Michael, out!